First of all, ignore this. I have a role coming up that I need it for. I know people dislike when a YouTuber grows a mustache most of the time, so just bear with me. But more importantly than that, on the day that this video comes out, it will have been 5 years since I posted the first ever video on this channel. And along with that, we finally hit and passed 500 subscribers. All I can say is thank you. We've made a little niche for ourselves, and I really do appreciate it. With all that being said, let's get into what everybody came here for. There are a few different varieties of cooking channels on YouTube. There are those like Jack, who are incompetent but assert that they are good cooks, good chefs. And then there are those that are good, and they know that they're good, but they're not cocky about it. Then there are those that are good and are cocky about it. And then there's those who are passionate about it, but not necessarily good at it. The subject of today's video falls into that last category. Much like Jack, if you've spent a certain amount of time in specific spheres on YouTube, you've probably heard of the channel Kay's Cooking. Kay is... there's not really a good way to categorize her. She's kind of, you know, somebody like me. She's just doing something that she enjoys doing. But what makes her videos so entertaining, though, is how grotesque and odd a lot of the food turns out to be. She's such a sweet older woman that clearly enjoys making these videos and recipes. And she, unlike Jack, she can take criticism. She can take jokes and doesn't mind people talking about her. She's always trying new things and trying to improve, and I honestly commend her on that. But with all that said, I think it's time to look at Kay's videos so you can see for yourself exactly what I mean if you haven't been exposed to her before. And if you have been exposed to her before, you already know to buckle up. I want to take you back in time to one of the videos that I was first introduced to Kay with. A video simply titled Making Meatballs.
Hi people, and today I'm back cooking again, and today I'm gonna have a try at making meatballs.
So I'm pretty sure this room is Kay's kitchen, but when I first started watching her, I always thought she was filming in her bathroom. Because of that door behind her, it looked like a glass shower door, and for whatever reason, it never registered to me that that was just a door with a frosted window in it.
And I just want to also tell you about this. Now I know it's an eyesore, but the thing is, as you will know, as most of you will know, and I don't know how you know, well you do, you know for a leap. But we have had the house rewired. This was originally a light, and for some unknown reason it was taken out and the light was put outside. So people writing saying that my kitchen's a mess. It's not, it's just because it's that.
Okay, I completely understand what you're coming from with people nitpicking about some small little thing in the background of your videos, completely throwing off everything else. And you out there know who I'm talking to. I had one recording session that turned out to be 3 videos, and I forgot to make my bed during that one recording session, and you all got on my ass about it. So I understand where Kay is coming from. I'm just kidding. Or am I?
So it doesn't look a mess. I'm waiting for them to come and cover it up. You can see
I forgot how jarring the transition is in this video from Kay to her making the product. Just look at those for a moment. Just really take in this Renaissance painting of a frame. You have the ground beef, or as Kay calls it, minced meat, in the right-hand side, with Kay's hand reaching into it to form the next lump of meat into another miracle food. Then, you have the small bowl of egg mixture sitting on the stovetop, with the back right burner of the stovetop already on. And that's not to mention the mystery bowl in the upper left-hand corner, which slowly leads your eye with its composited shadow down to the pièce de résistance, a 6x4 baking sheet covered in knowing K, assumedly lard or butter, and perched atop of that baking sheet are 2 hairballs vomited up by a cat covered in egg yolk. Now, instead of breaking down the meatballs that are already on screen right now, I just want you to walk with me through the process of how she makes one of these meatballs. So first, she takes out the ground beef, or like I said, as she calls it, mincemeat.
All I'm doing is just getting some mincemeat. I don't know if you can see, but Lee's walked off and left the camera. But all I'm doing is I'm getting some mincemeat, rolling it.
I was getting a drink.
Rolling it in my hands. Shut up, Lee.
You said I walked off, I was getting a drink.
It's as simple as that to make meatballs. Because she doesn't need to worry about compressing the meat enough to actually compact it and not have the individual strands from the extruder still. No, just as long as you squeeze it together hard enough with enough egg yolk, meatball.
So what I'm doing is rolling it in my hand. I don't know if you can see me what I'm doing, but and then I'm dipping it in egg.
It's been a while since I've watched this video, but what is that like bubbling or running water sound in the background? I'm pretty sure that she bakes these meatballs, so it's not a fryer.
And all I'm doing is I'm just getting a load of mincemeat, and like I said, dipping them in egg. I put that one there.
I love the visceral sight of the egg yolk trailing behind the meatball she places onto the sheet with strands of mincemeat following behind it, as if some animal's intestines were spilling out of it as it limps towards safety.
And I don't know if you can see, but I've also got some chips cooking.
That's right. She's making fries or chips, which explains the bubbling noise.
Oh, I'm dropping all my bits of mincemeat. And first of all, I'm going to make a tray full and see how they come out.
Everything about this video is almost not Lynchian, because it's not surreal enough. It's Cronenbergian. It's as if you took the body horror essence of a film like The Fly and transposed it into a YouTube cooking video. It's just such a visceral reaction. When you see this sight in front of you, it just looks so unnatural in comparison to most food preparation that we know. I know this is supposed to be meatballs, and maybe from a distance it could look like meatballs, but I know by looking at these that something ain't right here.
Lee, yeah, because you make me lose my ball. You'll have to excuse Lee. And me.
Because it's late and we always get like this thing.
Because it's late and we always get a bit giddy over at night time, I know.
There is something so genuinely charming about Kay. Even in the wake of this body horror, her laugh always makes me smile. She's genuinely having a good time. She's laughing with her son. She's making food and just doing something that she has a passion for, even if that passion makes crimes against nature sometimes.
Because we get a bit tired, that's what it is. And most people, when they get tired, they get a bit, oh my god, my balls fell apart.
I'm sorry, just hearing Kay say the phrase, my balls fell apart, and not remembering that was a part of the video, that knocked any train of thought I had into orbit.
Right, oh my word. I'm just gonna...
Oh god, she's still got a whole other tray of ground beef underneath that, that's right.
Oh, before you do any of this, what I'm doing, you need to wash You need to wash your mincemeat. Sorry, I was just looking for paper underneath it.
I forgot she did that. I forgot that was a thing that Kay did. She washes her ground beef. Why? Hell if I know. That explains why it's so, and I hate using this word, but moist. It is damp, wet meat she is putting into the egg mixture. So that explains why the egg mixture is just sloughing off of the meat onto the pan and not sticking.
As you can hear it squelching.
I don't want to hear Kay talking about her ground beef squelching.
Lee! I'm gonna smack you. Oh my word, Gil.
What are you on about?
Yo, I'm sorry.
I was just on my phone.
Yes, I'm sure you were.
Unlike other channels that I've covered where you watch them and get kind of upset, this is just fun. Like, yes, I critique and criticize what Kay's doing and poke fun at it, but the difference is I enjoy watching these. I enjoy seeing what's coming up next in how I'm going to be surprised.
Just to tell ya, there might not be some cooking for a couple of days. Okay then.
Now, brace yourselves, because I know what comes next. I've watched this video before. You're not ready to see what she pulls out of the oven. And you do have to ready yourself, because you don't see her pull it out of the oven. It jumps from this frame to the reveal. And I live every day of my life with the image of these meatballs seared into the back of my mind. I went through periods of my life where I could not close my eyes without seeing these God-forsaken lumps of meat.
You can see all the juice has melted into it, which is something I didn't want to happen. So what I'm going to do is, nearly ended up with that ball on flour.
Somehow, during the process of cooking, these meatballs, through some black magic, turned into Swedish meatballs. At least, that's what I wish happened. Instead of a nice gravy that these are sitting in, all of that is grease, fat, and butter and egg yolk mixed together. Watch how it moves as she moves the meatballs around.
So what I'm going to do is, nearly ended up with that ball on flour. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to drain some of this juice off, put them back in the oven for another 10 minutes.
And that's where I lied to you. These are not done yet. This is only the halfway point.
As you can see, they've not stayed in the shape I made them, but it don't really matter because at the end of the day, they're classed as meatballs. And other than the meatballs you get in the gravy.
I wish for your sake that was actually gravy.
As you can see, I'm having a hell of a time trying to turn them over.
The final result is admittedly not as bad as the halfway point, but it is still something to behold.
They're starting to look a bit like meatballs. Meatballs. Sorry, I couldn't tell. Just too busy.
Okay, you sweet grandmother of a person. If those look like meatballs to you, I'm concerned about the food that you've been eating that you haven't been cooking. Who is feeding you meatballs that look like that, Kay? Please tell me and we'll lock them up for you. Just say the word and we're there. We want to help.
These chips have been in microwave. I'm going to put.
So apparently she decides to put the meatballs on the chips. I want to see what the chips look like.
These are just pure mincemeat.
Honestly, wow. Those chips look all right. I can't tell if they're seasoned or not, but they've got a nice browning on them. Maybe a little too well done for some people. I think it would probably be all right to eat. Of course, until she decides to put the meatballs on top of it.
These are the meatballs. You don't need to have chips for them, but this is the end product of how to make meatballs. Well, I hope that showed you how to go on with meatballs, or roughly going on.
Wait a minute. That's another thing I forgot. This video does not have a taste test section. She shows you the meatballs on the plate with the chips, but then she doesn't, neither her nor Lee taste it, which gives me a sneaking inkling. Even they, deep down in their subconscious or foremind, did not want to consume that.
You can make them any way you want. You don't have to have chips for them. But anyway, if you do like what you've seen, please keep viewing me. Give me a big old thumbs up.
And that's about the K experience. You have your ups and downs, you have your disgusts and your horrific life experiences, but she's really just entertaining and fun to watch. If you guys want to see me look at more K videos, classic or new, leave some down in the comments below and I'll try and cover them. Before we go, again, a huge shout out and thank you to the now 500 plus subscribers that we have. It may not seem like a lot to some people, but knowing that there are 500 plus people out there that are willing to sit through me rambling about stupid things that I'm passionate about or things that I find interesting, it's really encouraging. Wherever this channel goes in the future, thank you guys. Genuinely. But that's not going to stop me from trying to hit that 1K soon. And with all that said, that's going to be it for this video. Make sure to comment and subscribe, and if you know any K videos or any other channels that you want me to take a look at, leave them down in the comments below. As always, thanks y'all for supporting. All 500 plus of you, and sticking around. And I hope to see y'all next time. See ya.